Oh, I totally meant to see you there. You might be wondering, what the fuck is this? And for you, I say, it's Spa Week, as sponsored by former world champion, actually former 2X world champion, Dan Durango. And I figured I'd enjoy Spa Week with a hot bath, some wines, meats and cheeses that I did not eat in the tub, but it primed the body for it. So I figured in order to have your own Spa Week, you too should have some medium to watch during your Spa Week in which you can relax, absorb, and hang out. I figured today, I was thinking about all this wonderful computers that we have, with gentechie.net being a new way that we can play A&R over the internet with each other. But most importantly, wonderful sounds. Like everything that's shot on the internet in 2019 and or 2020, I figured it would be appropriate to kind of go through some of my favorite sounds from this client, rate them for you today. You can come up with your own little tier list if you'd like, and share it with your friends and argue about it, or don't. I don't care. It does not matter. Other than that, let's get into this thing, shall we? Moto bene, I guess. Wonderful. Let's start with, how many do I have here? It's something like, I have like 10. I don't know. For number, the last place, Access HQ. And for those of you who don't have access to these, don't worry. I'm gonna play them right like I'll do. Yeah, gunshot, cool guitar noise. Boom, Access HQ. So the reason why this card was cool is it really, as the corporation, you would rather hear no other noise. Pretty much that breaking news that's been sitting in your hand, or that one Astro or the Project Atlas that you say, yeah, I'm not going to guard HQ turn one, I'd rather prevent medium block. This was the noise that you would hear and absolutely fucking hate, because that agenda would get just rip-a-runate from there. Small plus though, if you were a PE person in the earlier days, you get to let runners access snare, which was pretty cool. And then you would hear some net damage and or tagging noises that would occur, along with some great console warning messages such as "noise is tagged" in all caps when you would tag your opponent playing noise. This is just a cool little sound. R&D and archives had their own thing. Those aren't as cool. Let's move on to second from last. Shout out to Timmy Wong for this one. This is certainly in his top 3, if not top. The classic Credit Click. Ooh, let's hear that one again. Ay, Chihuahua. The only reason the sound isn't higher up in my tier list is it has a very meager token drop. I'm really thinking about putting a fat 20 in a machine at Chuck E. Cheese's. That's got a lot of the chuckle tokens or whatever dropping en masse and a particularly large volume, a high load if you would. This is it's really just a credit, or maybe 2 of them, one dropping on another one. So definitely some minus style points there. The reason why I like this sound is it's just pure efficiency. If you don't have Temujin to install and run, or a Fat Desperado, or perchance an Account Siphon, or if you were Wizard and you had already trashed the board, really, all you need to do for the rest of the game is click for credits, because you can just figure everything else out. So this was a noise that you would hear a lot. This tastes like white. Let's keep it moving along. This one's actually a tie. I couldn't tell which one I liked more for this slot, so I just shoved 2 in there for absolutely no reason. Tied for third from last, we have 4 meat damage. Oh! Oof! I played that in the style and key of C Scorch Scorch. Also on with Game Bad Publicity.
Crowdfunding's a good card. Rosiki's fine.
The interesting thing about this combo is often as you would hear the bad publicity sign first because of the classic turn 1 install double ADV pop dab and let it rip. And then that would most likely be followed up with mid-seasons and or a C-source into Scorch, which would hopefully kill the runner. So you would really get a cool three sound combo of damage, flatline, which could overload your sound drivers and your opponent's capabilities for saying GG. Most likely throwing you a BG or just straight up quitting. Said fuck you, and you played Windows Pinball after. That's just what you did. But both of these sounds very frequent, especially in the earlier stages of OCTGN, given that super modernism or playing green cards that get money and also kill you. That's all that is, really. You wouldn't hear the BP as much as when people crossed over into the near-Earth hub meta, aka 2014. Yeah, that sounds right. Wonderful. Coming in at 4th from last is the classic banger installvirus.mp3. One more time. Damn. The reason why this sound is such a menace to society is, frankly, many different things could be going on. Your data could be getting sucked IRL, medium could have been hitting the table, or perchance a second medium even more dastardly, and in your worst case scenario, you're just straight playing against noise, which is very difficult. Pre-Jackson was a real boom, boom, boom. It would just be that on fucking repeat. Pay your respects to installvirus.mp3. I hope you heard that a lot during your Octagon days. This one also a combo, so coming in at 5th from last. We're really getting into some good sounds here. Push Your Luck, play, and play, push your luck, fail. We'll start with the play. Really figuring out the tight, unequal math of even versus odd, and then usually followed up by the fail. The success, not really great. It's not a great soundbite, it kind of sucks, but the failure, creme fraiche, baby. Now, I was first taught Netrunner on Octagon, and it's actually a miracle that I made it to playing to physical cards, because when you're trying to learn the game Netrunner and on the client Octagon, truly fucking whack. But if I had heard that noise right at the start, I would have been in. I would have had FOMO, fear of not hearing that fucking noise again because of what a straight banger it is. Wah, 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 wah. 4 to the floor, push your luck, play, and push your luck, fail. Straight bangers from the Octagon archives. Moving to 2nd from the top. Now, this noise dominated the sound meta while it was available. It is still technically available today, it just doesn't happen that often. The last time you would have heard a lot of these in a row would have been back in the Scorpios days. Here and now you're just going to hear a couple maybe Aiki triggers and perchance a baddie. I'm of course talking about side-start.mp3. Let's give it a listen. This one is just so nice, so on point, drawn out, raising the tension, allowing you to bid 0, 1, or 2, and then ultimately bankrupting your opponent because that TFP got milled into archives and you're going to bet 0 until the game's over, if you know what I'm saying. This one, just really thematic, and you knew that shit was getting real serious, and you were never upset to hear that little sweet side tune. Because it just meant that both of you were going to have to use your little brains probably 2 to 3 times, and then ultimately met with a meager reward such as NAPD, or just straight ripping it. And that one is scistart.mp3. The final top MP3 file inside of the sounds directory, inside of a randomly generated ID, inside of game databases, inside of Octagon, inside of the My Documents folder. Odd base install location for Windows, nevertheless, that's where it was. The top sound that you could find in the Android Netrunner Octagon bundle is my favorite. resarcher.mp3. If this shit got rezzed, you were in hell. Because at best, you're breaking it and breaking the bank. At worst, you're going to get more noises of Archer trash. You're going to get those fat credits. That run is going to end, and your opponent is going to be de-fucking-moralized. And it was rare enough, which really made you treasure hearing that sweet, sweet noise. Typically, you would hear this in conjunction with the, hopefully a game bad publicity first, so that you were just sacking a hostile takeover rather than that fat GFI or something of the like. Then usually it would be followed up with a C source after you did finally get through to steal that shitty Oaktown renovation, and then they kill you anyways, and so that's just kind of what happened. That's my top Octagon sound. I hope you have enjoyed this Spa Week material. Perhaps you'll be incentivized to come up with some of your own tier lists, talk with your friends, fellow netrunners, and advocate for new sounds for Gentechie.net, because that would be tight as fuck. Perhaps one of you cool programmer types could figure that out. Until the next time, the next tier list of old Netrunner weird off-topic subjects that approximately 1 to 200 people can probably accurately relate to. I'll see you next time, Internet. It's CTZ. Now, it's time to finish this goddamn Spa Week.